All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Backyard. My name is Adeoye Salem. If you see me a little bit cold, or if you think that I am cold, do not blame me. Those who know me up to point or up to par knows that I'm a little bit partial to Arsenal, like this friend of mine who's a football fan but who's also susceptibly partial to Manchester United. He's a great football fan. I am also susceptibly partial to Arsenal, and then of course back-to-back draws. I mean, it's not a draw that is painful. It's the fact that back-to-back they've had to give away 2 goals lead back-to-back. That is one of the most painful things, but that is something we're going to get to on the long run. But before that, there are a couple of things that are very interesting. One of the things that I look at is the fact that initially I was afraid that Manchester United, without Lisandro Martinez, and then of course without the miraculous Marcus Rashford, would also bottle after they bottled the Europa League, also giving up 2 goals lead. It's as if the curse is going around. It's like a curse that's going around. But what? It's a crazy time to be a football fan, actually. But then of course it's something that I thought it would also bottle it up against Nottingham Forest. But then of course they came out victorious. But gentlemen, the question for me this evening is this: breathing fire on Arsenal's buttocks is Manchester City. And mind you, Manchester City have got they've got an outstanding, presently as it stands, Arsenal are just 4 points leading Manchester City with 4 points. Manchester City, as we know, with an outrageous goal difference, and then of course they've got an outstanding, and in a very difficult realm for Arsenal, they are also going to play Manchester City at the same time. So do you think Arsenal have bottled the league? Do you think so?
You had to go.
When you guys start like this, that means it's a political movement. Something is happening politically. What is it, gentlemen?
I believe that Arsenal can win the league.
Also,
well, I'll just give it to sentiment. It's not because
you're giving into sentiment.
Yes, I want them to win because it's the first time in many years that they've put in hard work, honest hard work, right? So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, please, let's just, let luck, or let's providence, let whatever it is, let God of football just, reward that hard work, with this league.
Is there really a God of football?
Well, we think there is God of football.
Majorly, truly there's God of football. There's God of football because in the present time, especially and even in the past, and even to this present time, we've seen the twists and turns in leagues. A certain club will take up the lead, and the unexpected pick up the form, and the supposed league leader, which we feel is going to end well, and along the line, it's just they take up the post, and that time comes in, the supposed leader came back and take up their space.
There are gods if there's a god of football, or there are gods of football, I think they've gone on vacation since Leicester won the league. I mean, nobody has won the league unexpectedly since Leicester won the league.
Well, even then, you see, I do not. Well, yeah, I think then it was God of football because since then we've seen more competition than that time. I remember the only reason we all know Leicester was able to win the Premier League at the time was because other big teams were not showing up. They didn't turn up that season. Arsenal would have won the league at that time. They dropped off. They didn't have the.
That was there. They played 7 or 8 draws.
Yeah, they didn't have the push. Man United was nowhere to be found. Chelsea was nowhere to be found. Man City, it was the same Man City. It was only Man City too that was trying at the time. You get so. Since then, there has not been this competition as we have it now. You know, I mean, there are more competition now than then. You know,
Or maybe the gods of football were actually very particularly wicked. Who offended the gods of football then that gave Leicester that league?
God of football decided to reward someone.
Jamie Vardy, who?
The god of football, not gods. It's a god of football.
That's why I said. That's why I said the god of football decided to reward someone. It was Leicester because they were the only one that put in the work. Tottenham did a bit, but not enough. Yes, not
so
enough.
if you put in the work, as in there's this space of
Arsenal was the only big team at the time that we thought.
Could have done that.
Yeah, but they didn't.
And, but let's look at it. Dilly ding, dilly dong, and the dilly ding, the dilly dong, their way. And then it's even very funny that the coach then, what's his name now? Claudio Ranieri. And then hasn't been able to perform that much. That was he's been around for so long. He's coached in Italy.
Chelsea.
He's been Chelsea's coach, Chelsea's manager. But that was the first time that he actually won the league in his career. And so far, that has been the only time. Yeah. But then, so basically, can we still see Arsenal has bottled the league? I'm interested in that one. You have refused to say. You have been very, very.
I was sitting the point before he came in. So Arsenal can still win the league. The chances to average football fan, based on the fact that how we see Man City, kind of make people like feel Man City can lose, but in reality, that's just words on paper. In reality, football is a funny kind of game that even at the point in which you feel a team will do best, they can lose that wonderful needed point. Arsenal was sitting gloriously on 6 points for some weeks, and look at it today. They've played a game ahead of Man City. They played 31 games, and Man City have an outstanding, and it's just 4 points. If Man City win the next game, that means it's just 1 point. But who says Man City can lose? Who says Man City can lose? You play Sevilla. We had 2 goals up within 2 minutes. Within 15 minutes, we scored that 2 goals. But so football is just one beautiful game that can turn this way, and next week can just turn this way. They just play for luck because they are playing good football. So they can still win the league.
I think this week has been the most unpredictable. I haven't seen any punter come to say that I actually won. I mean, this is the most. We will start from Villarreal and Real Madrid, and then Real Madrid lost that, and they came and they played a very, very beautiful game against Chelsea.
Very arrogant an arrogant game against Chelsea.
Why would you describe it as arrogant? I don't like where this is leading to.
They were so arrogantly teaching Chelsea how football should be played. They were so.
I may have a different point of view from. I know that
you need to watch what Real Madrid played against. Who did they play with yesterday now? Cadiz, yes. You need to watch the game. They were everywhere. They were up and doing. Fire.
Against Cadiz,
against Chelsea,
I thought they were going to lose. I thought against Cadiz, I thought that finally because they lost a lot of. I think they had about 26 shots on target and
playing on fire.
That goalkeeper
came for them.
But that wasn't the same way they played against Chelsea. They were too relaxed about it. Every of their body movement was so lackadaisical.
They were relaxed, so that was a game plan because they knew Chelsea would be much more aggressive.
No, it wasn't a game plan. It was because Chelsea came with the way they came.
Majorly, I don't talk about Chelsea because in recent time, majorly, my brother knows I made a comment about Chelsea and a fan came on Instagram.
And they told me why Michael official or so.
Brother, you two yab me. Waiting I do. Nah, just analysis I made and which were just truthful. I know probably with your comments I know he's a Chelsea fan and he's enraged, just like every average Chelsea fan. A Chelsea fan. I'm not enraged. I'm not angry. I'm a Man U fan and we want today. I'm happy. So he's angry because the reality is the Chelsea he used to know is not the same Chelsea that is here now. He said, in his word, he said, flop, that I don't even know how to speak English. That see my face, like flop. My brother, I love you, but in football, analysis of football, just have to speak the truth. Real Madrid was relaxed because they were playing against a team that was not a team.
Yeah, I mean, a team they were so sure can't do anything.
Most annoying thing for me with Real Madrid was, I mean, coming back to lose, they lost to Villarreal.
I mean, that's the team.
And then a lot of people were expecting Villarreal to run over, based on that match, on that Real Madrid's performance, to run over Valladolid, and then Valladolid ended up
Running
over them. It's very funny, but that's football, like you said. We're going to short break now. When we come back, there's still a lot to talk about. Arsenal, Chelsea, and then of course, I think we have to touch on Harry Kane. We really need to talk about Harry Kane. Keep it locked down, don't go away. This, as you know, is Backyard, the Win Sports production, and I have two of my best friends in the house. Of course, Steven and Wembley. Keep it locked down. We'll be back.